Make sure the Y. Make sure we put the Y in. Caitlin Clark would never. Someone said Caitlin before Caitlin. I responded with Caitlin before Caitlin. She has 141 assists. I think she had 3 in this game. So let's give her 144 assists. I don't know, whatever it is. They got it wrong by 300. Like, they got it wrong by more than the all-time record in the season. Like, and that's not... I was about to say that's...
A significant statistical error during recent WNBA coverage has sparked debate about record-keeping accuracy and media presentation of player achievements. The incident occurred when broadcast graphics incorrectly displayed assist numbers that created confusion about rookie season records. During game coverage, announcers announced that Paige Bueckers had achieved 481 assists, supposedly breaking the rookie season record previously held by another player. The broadcasters celebrated this milestone, with commentary suggesting it represented a complete rewriting of rookie record books and unprecedented achievement levels. However, the actual statistics tell a different story.
Like, and that's not... I was about to say that's not the rookie record, but it is the rookie record. The all-time record for assists in a season is the all-time record for assists in assists in a season. Like, Paige is not even going to break the all-time rookie points in a season. Like, Paige, literally, she has to average 24 a game the rest of the season. She's not going to break the all-time points record, because she's going to miss at least one more game. She's going to miss at least one more game this season. So she's not going to break the all-time.
Analysis of the real numbers reveals that Bueckers had approximately 141 assists going into that particular game, potentially reaching around 144 after the contest. This means the broadcast error inflated her assist total by roughly 300 Bueckers, more than double the actual rookie season record for assists. The mathematical impossibility becomes clear when examining the claimed average. The incorrect figure of 481 assists would translate to approximately 18.5 assists per game, which would be historically unprecedented in professional women's basketball. For comparison, elite playmakers typically average between 8 Bueckers 10 assists per game during exceptional seasons.
So she's not going to break the all-time rookie points record. She's not going to break the all-time rookie assist record, obviously, because she's like 3 assists per game below Caitlin Clark and played less games. But, like, she's going to just over half Caitlin Clark's assists. She's going to average just over half of Caitlin Clark's assists. 481 is 18.5 assists per game. Have they corrected this? Her numbers now are close to this. Put aside the franchise record part. She averaged 50.3 assists per minute.
What appears to have happened is a simple but significant data entry error, where someone transposed point totals and assist numbers on the broadcast graphics. This type of mistake, while understandable from a technical standpoint, created confusion among viewers and temporarily inflated achievement claims. The incident highlights broader concerns about statistical accuracy in sports broadcasting and the pressure to create compelling narratives around emerging players. When errors like this occur, they can inadvertently diminish the actual accomplishments of athletes by setting unrealistic comparison standards. Real statistical analysis shows more modest but still respectable numbers for rookie players in the current season.
3 assists per minute in this game alone. Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, she averaged 50 assists per minute. They've played 30-something games. She'd be averaging a double-digit assist per game. Some idiot transposed assists and points and put her point total on the screen as assists. Like, they literally announced it. They literally announced it as the most, it's 481. 481.
The actual assist leaders are performing at levels consistent with historical norms for first-year players, which represents solid development rather than record-breaking achievement. The error also raises questions about quality control in sports media production. With multiple people typically involved in preparing broadcast graphics and statistics, such significant mistakes suggest gaps in verification processes that could be addressed with better oversight. Some observers noted that the announcers continued with the incorrect information even though the numbers should have raised immediate red flags. Professional basketball players averaging nearly 20 assists per game would represent such an unprecedented achievement that it should have prompted immediate verification.
It's 481. 481. Like, that is 150 more than Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark, am I right in saying Caitlin Clark's was like 330? I have no idea. I don't care. I don't care. Paige had 141 assists going for the game. The record is 337, yeah. So she broke it by 150. That's kind of mad. She has over 14 assists. 18, she missed 7 games, 18.5 assists per game. Just say we in tank mode without saying we're in tank. We in tank. This is getting ridiculous.
The controversy extends beyond just one player, touching on how media coverage can sometimes prioritize narrative creation over statistical accuracy. When broadcasters are eager to highlight emerging talent or create compelling storylines, there may be less scrutiny applied to the underlying data being presented. Looking at legitimate season statistics, current rookie assist leaders are performing at respectable but not historically unprecedented levels. The actual record holders for rookie assists achieved their totals over full seasons with consistent play, making their achievements more meaningful than inflated single-game corrections. The incident also demonstrates how quickly misinformation can spread in the social media age.
This is getting ridiculous. 1.8 times views. It's not Paige's fault. No, this isn't Paige's fault, by the way. It's all the media's fault. It's all the media's fault. Wild's announced don't realize the number doesn't make any sense. She's played less than 30 games, average well under 10. They're not crediting her turnovers and inventing assists. But, like, that's happened as well. Let's not forget during the week, Paige Bueckers on video had committed 4 turnovers in a game where they said she had 1. And, like, some of them are like,
the incorrect statistics were immediately shared and discussed across various platforms before corrections could be issued, showing how broadcast errors can have lasting impact beyond their initial airing. For accurate context, the legitimate rookie season assist record stands at a much lower number that reflects the realistic expectations for first-year professional players. Breaking such records requires sustained excellence over an entire season rather than statistical anomalies or data entry mistakes. The situation serves as a reminder that spectacular claims require extraordinary evidence, and when sports statistics seem too good to be true, they often are. Professional sports leagues maintain detailed statistical records specifically to prevent such confusion and ensure historical accuracy.
Turnovers in a game where they said she had 1. And, like, some of them are like, one of them was just like, oh, you know, she kind of hit the ball, but you can give it to the passer. She just chucked the ball out of bounds twice. She literally chucked the ball out of bounds twice and they gave turnovers to other players. Like, we are literally seeing the WNBA with fake stats. We are seeing Paige. Paige is... like, she is a cod. She is a cod. And if you guys don't know what cod is, the type of fish. If you don't know the reference, it's a type of fish. Like, she literally, like...
Moving forward, this incident could prompt improved verification procedures for broadcast statistics and greater awareness among production teams about the importance of data accuracy. Sports fans deserve reliable information that allows them to properly evaluate player performance and historical context. The real achievements of current rookie players, while less sensational than the erroneous broadcast suggested, still represent meaningful progress in their professional development. These players are building careers through consistent improvement rather than manufactured milestones based on statistical errors. Ultimately, the controversy highlights the need for better balance between promotional enthusiasm and factual accuracy in sports coverage, ensuring that genuine achievements receive proper recognition without being overshadowed by administrative mistakes or inflated claims.
Like, I've never seen it. It's like, some players are great at embellishing contact. I have never seen a player in my life be better at falling over when no one goes near. Like, Lexi Hull did, in fairness, hand-check Paige Bueckers at the three-point line. And they're like, she hand-checked Paige at the three-point line. It should have been a foul on the dribble. Paige took 2 more dribbles, jumped in the air, did a double clutch with no one anywhere near her, and basically face-planted, and then doesn't run back.
Following another disappointing defeat by the Indiana Fever against the Washington Mystics, significant criticism has emerged regarding head coach Stephanie White's decision-making. The loss comes just 1 day after their defeat to the Dallas Wings, raising serious questions about team management and roster utilization.
This isn't some, like, team that's going to really punish you. Okay, yeah, coming off switches. What's the worst-case scenario? She switches on to Shug Sutton. This is not like switching on to Paige Bueckers. And the Indiana Fever lost because we couldn't score. We didn't lose because we couldn't get stops. We lost because we couldn't score. Like, the team needed offense more than they need defense. The Fever are not going to be a good defensive team. The only way you're going to win games by outscoring other teams. So why are you taking off a scorer? And I understand, like, You don't want to play her at the 3.
When questioned about the decision to keep Bibby on the bench, White provided explanations centered on defensive matchups and switching schemes. She indicated that the choice was primarily based on how the team planned to defend against their opponents and the tactical adjustments they intended to implement during the game. However, this reasoning has drawn substantial criticism from observers who point out several tactical inconsistencies. The Washington Mystics, while competitive, are not considered an elite offensive unit that would require such extreme defensive precautions. The opponent's roster included players like Sug Sutton and others who, while capable, don't present the type of matchup problems that would necessitate benching a proven scorer.
Player at the 3. But then why did you sign her? We already have 17 forwards and centers. Why did you sign her if you had no intention of playing her? And you're like, oh, everyone's like, oh, defense. But it's like, look, she's getting cooked on defense. She was minus 15. It's like, well, yeah, it's not her fault. She was on with a lineup with her, Bree Turner, who, no offense, can block shots, but she can't guard threes. It was like her, Bree Turner, Dantas, Kelsey Mitchell, and I think it was Sophie. And I'm like, that is...
The fundamental issue appears to be a strategic miscalculation. The Fever's primary problem in recent games has been offensive production rather than defensive failures. The team has struggled to generate consistent scoring, making the decision to sideline an effective offensive contributor particularly puzzling. Given the roster construction, the Fever are better positioned to win games through offensive execution rather than defensive dominance. Questions arise about roster construction and player acquisition strategy.
Kelsey Mitchell and I think it was Sophie. And I'm like, that is Kelsey Mitchell and 4 of the slowest players at their given positions. Considering Sophie's playing point guard. It is the slowest technically point guard in the league. With Dantas, who's the slowest center in the league since Tiara McCown is gone. With Bree Turner, who's the slowest power forward. And then small forward Chloe Bibby's the slowest small forward. Like Chloe Bibby's guarding JJ Quinterly. That's an issue. That's an issue if Chloe Bibby's guarding JJ Quinterly. I understand. If Chloe Bibby is guarding someone like JJ, okay, then we start to...
If defensive switchability was the primary concern, the organization could have pursued different types of players during the signing period. Athletic wings with defensive versatility were available in the market, including players who were released during training camps or were available as free agents. The coaching approach appears to follow predetermined rotations regardless of game flow or player performance. This inflexibility has been observed in multiple contests where effective lineups were abandoned despite positive results, while struggling combinations continued to receive playing time. Similar patterns have emerged with other players on the roster.
Okay, then we start to think. What do we do about this? Do we put Chloe on? Do we take her out? Not when you're playing the Mystics. Not when you're playing the Mystics, who for decent chunks of that game were playing Madison Scott. Her matchup was Madison Scott a lot of that game. And people are like, oh, we're switching everything. I'm sorry, she's no worse at switching onto guards than Aaliyah Boston. She's definitely better at switching on the guards than Damiris Dantas. You had no problem with putting those players out and switching on the guards with the switching defense. You switched all for...
Michaela Onyen were experienced comparable treatment after strong performances against quality opponents like the New York Liberty. Despite being a bright spot in difficult situations, her playing time was subsequently reduced without clear basketball-related justification. The tactical deployment has created situations where the team's most effective scoring options are unavailable during crucial periods. Lineups featuring multiple slow players at their respective positions have been utilized, creating defensive vulnerabilities that could have been addressed through different personnel combinations. The switching defense that was implemented successfully for portions of games was then abandoned despite generating positive results.
Defense. You switched all for about a quarter and a half and then just stopped, even though it was working. You built up a 13-point lead switching all and then just said, nah. Because, I'm sorry, I'm fully convinced. I've seen coaches, I kid you not, that they go into a game with a game plan and they basically have their rotations on a spreadsheet before the game starts. And it doesn't matter how the game is going. It does not matter how the game is going. That is what's going to happen. We have seen Michaela Timpson against the New York Liberty. They played the Liberty twice. The first time they played the Liberty,
The team built substantial leads using these tactics before reverting to less effective approaches, suggesting either inflexibility in game planning or difficulty adapting to in-game success. Player development and confidence appear to be affected by the inconsistent usage patterns. When players perform well in limited opportunities but then see their minutes reduced, it creates uncertainty about role definition and expectations within the team structure. The timing of personnel decisions has been particularly questionable.
Against the New York Liberty, they played the Liberty twice. The first time they played the Liberty, they got destroyed. The only bright spot was Michaela Timpson. She was the only player in the second half that looked to be aggressive. She was the only bright spot. The next game, she doesn't play. And now we're seeing it with Chloe Bibby. Chloe Bibby was the only bright spot on calamitously bad lineups. Like, I'm sorry, I said it. Stephanie White is throwing the game against the Wings. I've said it. I thought Stephanie White was throwing that game. I thought Stephanie White, and by throwing the game, I didn't think she tried to lose.
Players have been benched immediately after strong individual performances, while those struggling have maintained their positions in the rotation. This approach seems disconnected from performance-based evaluation and merit-driven playing time distribution. Matchup analysis suggests that the opponents faced recently did not present the type of challenges that would require such dramatic roster adjustments. Teams like Washington, while competitive, lack the personnel that would exploit the supposed defensive weaknesses that led to Bibby's benching.
I think she was putting out lines. She was Chuck Dalying the dream team against the college kids. She was putting out lineups that were never going to play together again. She was just trying stuff. She was like benching players when they shouldn't have been benched as like, maybe the players weren't listening to exactly what she did. So she basically made it as hard as possible for them to win the game. Didn't call a time at the end. Stephanie White made it as hard as possible for them to win that Dallas Wings game. Either it's by design or she's incompetent. Like, that's just my opinion. Like, again,
the organizational philosophy appears to prioritize theoretical defensive concepts over practical offensive production. In a league where scoring can be inconsistent, removing reliable offensive contributors based on defensive concerns creates additional challenges for team success. Communication and player relations seem to be affected by these decisions. When effective contributors are removed from game situations without clear explanation or consistent application of standards, it can impact team chemistry and individual confidence levels.
Either it's by design or she's incompetent. Like, that's just my opinion. Like, again, I'm not saying anything as fact. I can't read her mind. That's just my opinion on it. And the only bright spots in a lot of really, really, really bad lineups, like 4 bench players and Sophie. Like, that lineup can't be in the game. But it was 4 bench players and Sophie at times. It was like, there was a lineup where it was like Odyssey Sims. And it was Odyssey Sims, Sophie, Chloe Bibby, Dantes, and KK was in. And I'm like, that team got killed. Rightfully so, but the only bright spot was Chloe Bibby.
The current trajectory raises questions about long-term planning and player development within the organization. If players are acquired but then underutilized due to coaching preferences that weren't considered during the signing process, it suggests disconnects in organizational decision-making. Moving forward, the team faces critical decisions about personnel usage and strategic implementation. With playoff positioning at stake, the effectiveness of current approaches will be evaluated based on results and competitive performance against similar level opponents.